Recording started. Hello, good evening. Hello, good day. How's everybody today? We're so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for requesting this presentation. If you're watching it live, wonderful. If you're watching it on a replay, we welcome you as well. And we always welcome you to reach out to us at the end of this for any questions that you have. So we are the Detox Girls. I'm Jill.
I'm Shanna.
And we are remote bringing you our presentation tonight, and we're so excited that you are here. All right, so as we get started, because we always dive right in, right? So we're going to start with a medical disclaimer, as we always do. The information provided in this presentation, any discussion, any posts, any comments are intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended for, nor should it be used as, medical care or advice. It should not be used in formulating a diagnosis or medical treatment plan. It is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any illness or disease. Please contact your medical physician or practitioner with any medical questions or concerns. The information has not been evaluated by the FDA or any other medical entity, and the presentation is the property of the Detox Girls and may not be shared without express consent from Jill or Shanna. All we ask is that you just check in with us and ask, please. And the lady that brings us here tonight. So Shanna and I are here to bring you an overview of all of the information that we have had access to. We are so blessed because Shanna and I are both moms, researchers, and the Lord has laid it on our heart to heal the nations. And the Lord brought us Dr. Christina Rahm for that reason.
Yes. Dr. Rahm is our friend. She's also a mother. She's a scientist, huge humanitarian. She's a formulator and the chief science officer of Root. She's the chairman for ISNS, and we're going to get into that in just a second. Dr. Rahm has a PhD, EDD. She has a PsyD. She has a master's. She has a postdoctoral and graduate certification from Harvard in nanotechnology. So she's a nanotechnologist. She was pharmaceutical management and nutrition certification from Cornell. She has a ton of different certifications and also things that she's done in her past. She has worked with Pfizer, Biogenetic, Johnson & Johnson, Bristol Myers Squibb, Alexion. We see, oh gosh, there's just so much that she's done. She worked on the clinical and medical side for those companies. She was a psychologist. Her first doctorate degree was in psychology. She was the head of a psychology department with, I believe it was 12 or 15 different psychologists that were under her care and working with patients. Dr. Rahm has an incredible heart. She was on the science part of the pharmaceutical industry. The very first formula that she was involved with helping get out there was actually the little blue pill for men. And we're going to get into one of her formulations, then we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So make sure that you watch because it's really good stuff. But what's really important about Dr. Rahm is her calling and what she has done, and the reason that we are together. We have been brought together with her. Dr. Rahm was asked in 2015 by Foster & Gamble to go to Wuhan, China to work on a retrovirus. She declined, knowing that she wouldn't come home. Again, she has 4 kids, and she was like, she had been to China before to work, and she knew that she wasn't going to come home if she went back. So she declined. Dr. Rahm then began to formulate different formulations to help her own family. And because of what was coming, because of what she knew she was coming, she was told that there would be a biological warfare continuously for over a decade, working in the pharmaceutical industry. They were developing it. She ended up going into a bioscience engineering program. She was one of 20 people in the world to be accepted into this program. The other 19 were heads of the pharmaceutical industries, generals in the military, people of the like. She was the top in her class, and what they were literally learning is how to create biological things to work in the body to get the end result that they want. So they were literally learning biological warfare and how to create stuff to happen in the body. She whenever she was in there, she was just flabbergasted. So she began to formulate what reverse engineers what they're creating to happen in the body. So that is what Dr. Christina Rahm has done. She began for her family, and then her husband, Clayton Thomas, came to her and he said, I want you to be safe. I want your formulations to be safe. If I created a company around your formulations to keep it safe so nobody could tell you what to do, what to change, what it should and shouldn't be, would you do that? And Dr. Rahm said yes. And that is why we have the root brands, which we are also going to talk about in just a second.
Yes. Thank you. Great overview. So Shanna just a minute ago mentioned ISNS. Dr. Christina is the chairperson of ISNS, which is the International Science Nutrition Society, which is a unique and innovative concept to acquire and share expertise in the field of science and nutrition in its fullest sense of the word, emotional, mental, and spiritual nourishment. ISNS was established on the principle that the science behind nutrition is often regulated to addressing problems without solving the root of the cause. So in the previous slide, you did see in the top corner, Dr. Rahm's book called Cure the Causes that she wrote because she believes in getting to the root cause of all illness and disease. So illness and disease is just simply a label of your symptoms. It's something that was created by insurance companies so that they could assign a code to you, and then they could tell you what tests were okay. They would pay for your visits and decide what prescriptions were appropriate in their opinion for your journey. But when Dr. Christina Rahm decided that she wanted to go to the nutraceutical route, she knew that she needed to create a registry. That's what they do in the pharmaceutical realm. They have a registry where they keep everything, all of their case studies separate and together. So ISNS is where Dr. Rahm's case studies are housed. They are within a membership, which if you are within the root community comes with a coupon code, and it's very reasonably priced, and an ability to access all of her case studies that she is publishing. In addition, she holds a monthly meeting with doctors. It's a doctor-to-doctor peer meeting with Dr. Rahm. And then they are also allowing doctors to perform additional case studies through ISNS. So Dr. Rahm has an amazing team of doctors, and this is just one small portion. These are the founding doctors that she works with. So at the top on the right there is Dr. Dori Nayarbo, and then Dr. Tina Bushnek, Dr. Juja, and Dr. Keshkesh. These doctors are amazing, top doctors in their field, top doctors in the world. Dr. Dori works with stem cell research and cardiovascular health. Dr. Tina is a pediatrician and has her own method in working with childhood development issues, including autism, ADHD, and more. Dr. Juja and Dr. Keshkesh are husband and wife. They work with the Olympic Hungarian team and do a lot of case studies having to do with that, as well as being the doctor to the Prime Minister of Hungary. So the importance of ISNS is that Root is a health and wellness company. And in order to stay compliant, all of the testimonials and case studies have to be housed outside of that. And that's where you'll find those on ISNS. So you can see down at the bottom there, sciencenutritionsociety.com.
Yes. If you guys have ever wondered how can, Pfizer and all of these big pharmaceutical industries get away with saying the things that they do, that is because they are compliant with the FDA, because they're where you buy your products through sales and the science of it are actually separate. Dr. Rahm was actually the one who created their medical registries. And so she has created that for Root. Yes. To help with those studies, to keep them compliant and safe so that there's no issue of misregulation in that area.
Absolutely. All right. So we believe, like Dr. Rahm, that we're going to get to cure the causes, right? But so many people are problem focused. Everybody is out there identifying the problem. We're 2.5 years into a situation and we're still identifying what the problem is. And all along, Dr. Rahm has been very solution focused. That's been her goal, is to cure the causes all along, even before any other doctor came out and said all of this. So if you're suffering from autoimmune, autism, ADD, ADHD, Lyme, cancer, COVID long haulers, post-vaccine effects, diabetes, PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, thyroid issues, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, depression, anxiety, leaky gut, and the list goes on and on and on. It's time to stop focusing on what the problem is, trying to get a label of what your symptoms are. And it's most important to work on getting the solution. And the solution is getting to the root cause of what's going on, why your body is doing what it's doing, what's attacking your body, and why your body and immune system is working the way it is working.
Great.
And so let's move on to the solution, because this is where it starts to get good. So these are the foundational products. These are, Dr. Rahm has many products, many formulations, and actually a whole shelf full of formulations that she's already done and are ready to come out as they're able to be rolled out. But these are the foundational formulas that Dr. Rahm started with. So in the middle, you'll see Clean Slate. Those are the drops. And on the right, you'll see Roots Restore, which are the little packets. And on the left, you'll see a box, and that's actually going to be changing its look soon, but that is 0 in, and those are capsules. So we're going to go through each of these in an overview. We have some additional things as well. So bear with us, stick with us. We should answer all of your questions along the way. And we're going to start with Clean Slate.
Oh man, Clean Slate is the foundation. So people ask me all the time, what should I do? What should I do? It is Jill's and I's extremely strong opinion that the entire world must be on Clean Slate. So why do we say that? It's a really important matter, actually. You hear the word detoxification a lot. And there's actually a way to do it right and safe, and then there's a way not to. So detox is a different word. We like to use the word eradicate because there is a difference. So what Clean Slate does is it is a detoxification, but it actually eradicates. So what it does is it takes the toxicants that do attack the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. They attack every organ of the body. They attack the cell. It actually goes down in it. It literally rips apart the toxicants, whether it be parasites, whether it be a heavy metal, whether it be 5G and cellular communication for cancer. No matter what it is, it literally goes in and rips it apart, makes it to where it cannot affect the body anymore, and safely removes it from the body. It's really important to know that with, just a normal detox, a detox in the sense of what's on social media, that you must have open detox pathways to do it. Clean Slate bypasses that. It actually cleans up your detox pathways and keeps your organs, such as your liver, your lungs, your kidneys, safe, while it removes and eradicates the toxins that are causing them to actually clog and be broken down. There's also something called epigenetic triggers. So epigenetic triggers are the toxicants that get down into the mitochondria of the cell and cause gene SNPs. That's a really big thing in the autism community with MTHFR. That is an epigenetic trigger caused by toxicity within the mitochondria. Clean Slate actually goes in and eradicates, rips it apart, and removes it, and actually turns on and help it. It supports the body to turn on and off those epigenetic triggers appropriately instead of being off or on all the time, because that's what the toxicants cause the body to do. So it's extremely, extremely important. It also helps remove all of the heavy metals, which mimic all of the minerals in the body. So this is a very, very safe eradication type of detox. It does not cause mineral gapping that you get with a lot of very popular social media detoxes. So it works very passive and systemic. It actually is embedded with frequency. I think this is the coolest thing. So we talked about earlier that Dr. Rahm is a bioscience engineer and also a nanotechnologist. So what she also does is she's very well versed in quanta. So quanta is the scientific study of things that are very, very small. And whenever you get into the quanta things that are in the body, there is space in the cells between the nucleus and all of the electrons, and that's empty space. Well, that is where a lot of the communication between the cells, whether it be 5G that degrades and tears apart your DNA, whether it be parasites or anything, they actually have cellular communication between each cell and within the cell. And the only way to remove that is with quantum nanoemulsification technology. And Jill's going to get into that in just a second. But with Clean Slate, it is so important because it actually removes the signaling between the cell. Whenever you remove that signaling, 5G is no longer an issue because there's no communication between the cell for it to hurt you. It removes the cellular communication for cancer to be communicated to the cells to cause more cancer cells within the body. It removes the communication of parasites to be able to communicate. It also removes the communication of the spike protein and viruses within the body to be able to infiltrate and make other cells sick and unhealthy. So Clean Slate is the only, because there's only 20 people in the world that know how to make it, and Dr. Rahm is the only one using it to reverse engineer the degradation of the cell caused by the biological warfare. It is the only product in the world that does this. It is the product that the world should be on, bar none. Dr. Rahm created it to do that. So we implore you to look into Clean Slate.
Shanna, I'm going to ask you the most popular question we get when it comes to Clean Slate. Is Clean Slate a zeolite?
So zeolite is a big buzzword. Zeolite has been hit up by a lot of supplement communities and everything. Zeolite is a wonderful mineral in the earth. It is in other countries considered a pharmaceutical. Now, what Clean Slate does is, so you have zeolite. There are a ton of different zeolites. So if you hear the buzzword zeolite, you need to know what they're talking about. There are all kinds of zeolites in the world. You have hulondolite, you have bentonite clay as a zeolite, you have what other companies call zeolite. You also have asbestos. Asbestos is a zeolite. Quartz crystal is a zeolite. So you have to know what we're talking about. Clinoptenolite is the type of zeolite that you want. Dr. Rahm uses in her raw formulation a clinoptenolite. This clinoptenolite, nobody else in the world can source. There's one mine in the world that they have found that have this type of clinoptenolite in it. The reason it's such an important type of clinoptenolite is because it has 66.7% silica. You must have at least 60% silica to do with zeolite, or clinoptenolite, forgive me, what the body needs from it. So without that high silica, there is no regeneration. And whenever you take a clinoptenolite and you clean it in the normal form that has been around for over 20 years, you actually destroy the silica that helps the body regenerate. What Dr. Rahm has done is she has used her bioscience engineering. Remember, she knows how they actually create biological warfare to infiltrate, to get into the mitochondria, to get into the quanta level, to create toxicity and disease within the body. So Dr. Rahm has taken those same techniques that they use. She has adapted it to clinoptenolite that she can source. They have sole sourcing rights to the only mine that has 66.7% silica within their clinoptenolite. It's 97% pure clinoptenolite, 3% bentonite clay. So it has two forms of zeolite in it. And we all know bentonite clay is very good for you as well. So what she does is she actually unlocks the silica that is within the clinoptenolite instead of destroying it. And she's the only one. She has a patented process with 148 claims showing that she is able to do this. She unlocks the ability for the silica, which is called orthosilicetic acid. It's the body's third most abundant mineral that the body needs for regeneration. And instead of destroying it, she's able to unlock it. And she unlocks it, and that is actually what goes into the body. There are fragments of clinoptenolite, but it's mostly orthosilicetic acid because it's 66.7% orthosilicetic acid. So by definition, it is an orthosilicetic acid. It goes into the body, and not only does it attract and remove, and that's what causes it to rip apart the toxins. Normal zeolites actually do not do that. She actually causes it to rip apart the toxicants and safely remove it from the cell, but at the same time, it regenerates the cell with silica, which is needed for all biosynthesis in the body, for collagen production, for health of tissue, for the beautiful plump cell membrane that you need to protect your body instead of being hard and rigid from toxins. And at the same time, it is removing the epigenetic triggers that block the cell receptor sites of the cell. So whenever you talk about a zeolite, it actually strips the body of minerals similar to EDTA or oh my goodness, Jill, the name of the IV.
That's it. The IV chelation.
Yeah, evacuation. Thank you. I was thinking of hormone. I'm sorry. It goes into, and those usually strip the body of all of its minerals, because those minerals are on the binding sites of the cells, because, or the heavy metals are, because they actually mimic minerals. So the body will absorb them instead of minerals, and then you get mineral deficient because there's so many heavy metals on the cell. So if you remove those heavy metals, you are causing what's called mineral gapping, because the body is absorbing those heavy metals to keep it safe, because without those heavy metals or minerals, the body will die. So you can create all kinds of autoimmune conditions and triggers by removing those heavy metals without having the minerals with it. So what Dr. Rahm has also done is she embeds clean slate with the orthosalicylic acid with minerals. So she uses sea salts, which is the most like our blood. So the body will absorb it more than any other form of mineral in the world. Sea salts is the most like our blood. So she embeds it with sea salts. They, at the same time, you cannot take a supplement right after. You cannot just put it in with the supplement. It has to be embedded into it for this to work, because of the way the body works and the cells work. Is it goes in, or as it removes the heavy metals, at the same time, there is minerals to go into the cell receptor sites and to start the regeneration process along with the silica. Then she encapsulates it in vitamin C. Vitamin C is another lock to get into the cell to actually cause the body to be able to detox the mitochondria and to get into the cell to remove the heat. Zeolites are not bioavailable to the body, so they do not get into the cell. So you have to have it unlocked the way Dr. Rahm does, or else it is not a cellular detox.
Perfect answer. Okay. Woo. We promise that's the longest one, because that's the most important one. The rest are a little shorter, and bear with us because they all work in synergy and they're very important, but we promise to keep things a little shorter. The information on clean slate is absolutely 100% necessary. It must be. You have to know the importance of it. That's why Shanna, when she says that everyone in the world needs to be on it, that is the importance of it. And that is why the discussion on it has to be so long. So moving forward. All right. So this is Restore, this little sachet packet thing, sort of like a juice pack, is amazing. So the ingredients in here are turmeric, black seed oil, resveratrol, raspberry ketones, apple cider vinegar, aloe vera, and D-ribose. So this goes back to the technology that Shanna had referred to earlier, which is quantum nano-emulsion technology, otherwise known as QNET. So Restore was formulated to restore the gut microbiome. So with that QNET technology that Dr. Christina Rahm created, it delivers all of these nutrients in a bioavailable, bio-ready formulation. So it bypasses the gut. So the gut would normally need to break those nutrients down to be absorbed. Well, this does it for you. So that's why, if you took this list of ingredients and you jumped online and you bought them all and you set them on your counter and you took them, it wouldn't be effective not in a comparable way at all, because you need the QNET technology. It has to go into the body. So apple cider vinegar, for instance, when you take a little shot of that fresh out of the fridge, it does increase your stomach acid. So if you're familiar with how the gut works, stomach acid is actually really important. Those that are taking stomach reducing acid pills really need to understand the importance of your stomach acid and how reducing the stomach acid can actually be detrimental. That's a point for you to research for your own health if you're taking any of those little pills. So the original inception, so back to that. So when you're taking the little bit of apple cider vinegar, it does increase your stomach acid, but parts of your digestive system are acidic and parts are alkaline. So it needs to know, the body needs to know how to use each one of these ingredients in the right time, in the right fashion. And that's what the QNet technology does. So the original reason that Dr. Christina Rahm came up with Restore was because of her own Lyme disease. So many of her presentations, and if you haven't seen her present, please check on the Root Brand's YouTube or on Dr. Rahm's YouTube or on the Detox Girls YouTube. You have to see Dr. Rahm do her presentations. There's no other doctor, scientist, formulator that's out there doing these types of presentations, hours long on each one of her formulations. But anyway, she created this for her own Lyme disease. She's a Lyme survivor, a cancer survivor. When she was 19, she fell into a bed of ticks and she lost her memory. They had her in the hospital in ICU. They used chemotherapy on her because there really wasn't, they didn't really know how to handle that at the time. She's had a brain tumor, a spinal tumor, 3 kinds of skin cancer. So she knows how the body works. She knows how the cellular how the cells work in the body, and she knows how fungus can proliferate with all of these compromised immune conditions. Yes. So when she was creating Restore, she knew that she needed to create a blockade around the cell to protect them from all of the toxicity. So what are the toxicities? Virus, fungus, bacteria, parasites, but nowadays also the spike protein. So really important to know that this stops the cellular communication and shuts that down and weakens that spike protein and takes that out of the body. So you have to use Restore along with Clean Slate. It also creates the protected environment for all of the bodily processes. So along with Clean Slate, Restore is rebuilding an optimal environment so that the body can do what it was created to do, which is heal. Because again, we make no claims. These products just work in the body, and then your body has the ability to heal. The Lord gave you the body that you have so that it was always meant to heal. We just weren't meant to take in all of the toxicities.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to zero in. And if it's okay, I'm always in mode of the products and what are in them. So I'm just going to carry on if that's okay. I'm going to hit zero in for a little bit and then you can jump in here for me as well, Shanna. So turmeric is a nootropic. It's a blend of 5 adaptogens and 2 catalysts. So turmeric curcuminoids. So we talked about turmeric in Restore. Turmeric curcuminoids are a special source of turmeric. So again, you can't just grab a liquid or a powder online and think that it's going to do what Dr. Rahm, what her formulations are going to do, because she has the ability to source from places that other people don't worldwide. And that's due to her background. So velvet bean seed, pine bark, the amino acids, theanine and tyrosine, amazing for anxiety and how you're feeling in mood. Vitamin D and anhydrous caffeine. And anhydrous caffeine, I know a lot of people immediately, oh, I'm caffeine sensitive. I'm not sure how this is going to go. It is taken from the leaf, not the bean. So it is different than, say, coffee and caffeine. But also you can open up a capsule and use a quarter of the capsule in a little bit of food and just test it out on your body before you jump into a whole one.
Yes.
You want to go over why she created this?
Yeah, so Dr. Rahm created, so her first doctorate degree, her first one, was in psychology with an emphasis on neurodegeneration of the brain and helping women who were in abusive situations, PTSD, hormone health, sexual health. And remember before we said that she was involved in releasing the little blue pill for men. So she created Zero In because she knew that there needed to be something that men or women could use, not just men. And if you know pharmaceuticals, they actually take natural ingredients and then they synthesize them into a cheap synthetic form. And then they put them together with a catalyst in order to make them be delivered in the body and work the way they want. That's why you say, oh, I want to take an ibuprofen instead of, peppermint oil for my headache because it works a lot quicker. Well, yes, it does, because it has catalysts. So what Dr. Rahm has done is she actually has created the natural way to make things work in the body with natural catalysts. Because of her background in pharmaceuticals, she knows how to do it. Most people are not leaving the pharmaceutical industries to help people naturally because it's not, the same amount of money. So she has created those things in order to help people. So Zero In is phenomenal. It is the reason I love it. So I'm just going to tell you, at 25, they did an emergency hysterectomy on me. So at 25, I went into straight menopause. I was in menopause for 13 years. I started on Zero In, and within 3 to 4 months, I was out of menopause completely. It regulated my hormones. I have complete hysterectomy, no ovaries, nothing. And this actually helps me regulate my hormones naturally without that part of my endocrine system. It is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. It has those catalysts that actually create dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine within the body, which is the precursor for our hormones. So whenever you're on clean slate, you're removing all of the toxins that cause degeneration of the endocrine system and toxicity and all of the epigenetic triggers. So you're removing that. Then you have Restore, which is creating a beautiful microbiome within the gut. Then you add in Zero In, and with Zero In, you're actually able to adaptogenic, meaning that your body controls it. Your body will be able to make the dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine that it needs for hormone production. And then you go up into the pineal gland that has been decalcified by clean slate, and it literally washes the pineal gland and creates your circadian rhythm for sleep and wake cycles, for your melatonin, which is the most important hormone in the body. Super important. It's the precursor for glutathione. It helps it helps regulate your cortisol. It helps with your cholesterol synthesis within the liver, for creating all of your progesterone, which then creates all of your other hormones. It's just such a cycle. So it's so very important. Zero In is amazing. And so it goes in, and actually clean slate and Zero In together, whenever you sleep, go through the glymphatic system with the G, with your cerebral spinal fluid, and wash your brain, and removes all of the plaque buildup that causes dementia and that causes Alzheimer's, that causes Parkinson's. Dr. Rahm, because she has some of those diseases in her family, she created Zero In to also help with that. So it's a neuroprotective. So it goes in and protects the neurons, and actually goes in and has some of the ingredients in it. We have talks with Dr. Rahm, so make sure that you look up on the Root Brands YouTube or the Detox Girls YouTube or Dr. Rahm's own YouTube. Again, she has done specific studies on how this particular formula helps with Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, and she created it to do that because of her own family. Her dad was supposed to have died within a few months of different types of degenerative conditions and cancers, and it's been 7-10 years now on the formulations, and he's doing amazing. So it's very dear to her heart, and that is one of the reasons. Also, you see in here that Dr. Artist came out a few months ago and talked about snake venom in the water. We heard about pine bark extract and how it helps with the virus at the very beginning of everything. Zero In had both of those in them at the beginning. So whenever you're on Zero In, you don't have to worry about that. And then clean slate in the water cleans up the water, so you're golden.
Yes. One of the things that you said, and I almost interrupted you, but you were on a good flow. It's the best kind of brainwashing. You were talking about the lymphatic system, and it kind of made me laugh, because it's like the only kind of brainwashing that should be out there.
Right? It also helps with sports. So if you have an athlete, or if you have somebody in school that is, maybe they have ADD, ADHD, or maybe they're just having their board in class or whatever, having a hard time focusing, whatever it may be, this is phenomenal for kids in school, for college students, for athletes. We have professional athletes. They will not talk about it because it gives them such an edge, and it elevates their dopamine so much that they don't want to tell everybody else what they're on. But we have Olympic athletes, NBA, NFL players, We have collegiate athletes. My son is one of them. He's the only one willing to talk about it. And it's incredible. It fast twitch muscles. Your muscle fiber strength is increased. I'm talking, 100 pounds over a week that you can increase in your lifting. It's phenomenal.
Yes. Also really good for moms that are super stressed out. You're dealing with everything during the day, moms, also musicians. If you're going to work and you work in a really stressful location with a bunch of coworkers that are very stressful, Zero In will get you through that as well.
Yes.
All right. So mitochondrial defense shield. This is the newest thing that Dr. Rahm came out with, but quite honestly, there's an hour-long presentation on it, and for the entire hour, I think I sat with my mouth wide open. My jaw was hitting the floor. This is just an incredible defense at the moment, and depending on when you're watching this, the name of this product might change, because apparently in other countries, labeling something with mitochondria is too close to pharmaceutical, and they're working on whether they need to change the name to stay compliant. So if you are watching this and the name has changed, just know that there's a reason behind that. And just like with ISNS and all of the case studies being very regulated, and basically she's dotting her I's and crossing her T's to make sure that she's always here to give us the best so that we can always help you. But mitochondrial defense shield is a combination of vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K2, trace minerals, NAD, and quercetin. So you have to have each one of these, because as Shanna was talking about before, you have to have the right catalysts to have things work in the body. So again, you can buy all of these online and line them up on your counter, but it's no different than if I gave you sugar and salt and flour and baking soda and said, make a cake, but no recipe. You're not going to come out with what Dr. Rahm has formulated. It's a matter of her doctorates and her multiple degrees and going back for all of these technology and understanding exactly how the body works. So this one I was really, really excited about. Our DNA is under attack from toxicity. What is that toxicity? Graphene oxide, iron oxide, aluminum oxide, glyphosate, PEG, so that's polyethylene glycol, mercury, and all kind of different heavy metals. And then that leads us to 5G, because as we have all of these heavy metals in our body, we had their little antennas. So they turn on the 5G, and you can just imagine what's going on in our bodies, right? Parasites, spike proteins, radiation. So the mitochondrial defense shield stabilizes the DNA. It preserves the DNA, it preserves the integrity of the DNA, and it protects the cell so that there's no disease and that your body can keep getting better. It is a tiny little capsule, but man, it holds a mighty pack of a punch.
Yep.
Yeah. So the mitochondrial dysfunction happens when the body is under attack by that list of toxicants, which, that list goes on and on, right? MDS eradicates, plus it protects and shields the cell while providing spikes around the cell to keep out the bad. So it actually provides like a protection around the cell to keep out all of the bad, so that we can then heal on the inside of the cell, because we know our mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes.
So MDS works in human and primary cell lines, naturally increases glutathione, regulates detox pathways, and when you combine it with Clean Slate, it removes the epigenetic triggers that cause disease, such as cancer. It protects the integrity of every cell down to the mitochondria through Dr. Rahm's QNET. We're back to the QNET, right? Quantum nano emulsion technology. And interestingly enough, the week that this came out, we were watching a presentation with Dr. Malone and Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Pierre Corey, and they were actually talking about the mitochondria. And I was dumbfounded, because what Dr. Malone already knew about what was going into people's bodies, Dr. Rahm has already created and put out the resolution for that, the solution. We stay solution focused here. So Dr. Rahm is the only one who is successfully doing this. And it stops the triggers while silencing the communication, so cellular damage does not occur.
And I want to cut in here and just say that we do not, like our medical disclaimer, we do not claim to treat, cure, prevent any illness and disease. What this does, what Dr. Rahm has successfully done, is able to go in and remove what's causing the disease and support the body to do the healing. Your body is the amazing creation that God created it. It is the one that'll do the healing. So what we are doing is we are getting back to that point to where our bodies will heal, our bodies won't age, our bodies won't, die prematurely.
Right.
We are
Exactly.
getting back to, literally, we're getting back to as close to the Garden of Eden as we can.
Oh, I love that. Cure the causes.
There you go.
Right. And her book is on the website.
Yes.
Oh, give me back my youth.
Oh, goodness gracious. So give me back my youth. Okay. Where do I start? Okay.
You can see how much information there is on this. I mean, so we're trying to condense everything. Just bear with us, but the information is so important.
It is so important. So there's a lot of hoo-ha about collagen, stuff like that. Collagen is not a cure-all for everything. Collagen is something that your body should naturally put together and produce. You have to have orthosalicylic acid for your body to produce collagen within the cell. So clean slate is the foundation for everything. Collagen. So Dr. Rahm, what she uses is bovine collagen. It is sourced from a farm that they sole source from. The cattle are not vaccinated. They are not fed GMO corn. They are out in the sun. They are humanely treated. They are loved by their owners. And Dr. Rahm has been able to source them. She does the collagen and colostrum. The reason you want both of those together. Okay. So the colostrum is extremely important to have because, so whenever you're a baby and you're born, your mother has collagen the first week or so that you breastfeed, and what that does is that actually sets up your microbiome. It closes the tight junctures of the intestines, because whenever you're born, the baby gulps down all of the the fluid throughout the mother's birth cavity. That actually sets the baby's immune system within the gut. So the immune system is set with the bacteria, with the viral load and everything that the baby needs to activate the immune system to have a healthy life, because those things are good to have in moderation. Colostrum is used to actually seal the gut so that those things cannot leak outside of the gut, and that they are actually maintained in the correct amount, and actually gives the baby the amount of good nutrients that the baby needs to start offsetting the bad. So it literally is what sets the baby's immune system. Colostrum is beyond important. This colostrum is also antiviral. It helps with inflammation in the intestines. It closes the tight junctures. So us taking it now actually closes tight junctures. So it helps the body heal from leaky gut. It creates the strong immune system. It aids the body in the healing of the stomach and stimulates the growth of intestinal cells without any fillers. So the most collagens have a ton of fillers in it. They are not made from clean sources. They might say non-GMO, but they are not made from clean sources. So they do not track the vaccine history of the animals or any of that. Dr. Rahm actually does that. She created her collagen is literally just collagen. There is no fillers. There's no malic acid. Malic acid is from fermented candida. If that's in your collagen, please stop taking it. There's no, oh my gosh, there's just so many fillers that are in it. So it's literally just collagen. That actually goes in and stimulates, it helps stimulate and give the body what it needs, because collagen is just broken down amino acids of proteins. So it's already broken down for your body, and then your body can stimulate them. So if you're like me and your gut has a hard time breaking down proteins, this collagen is going to be phenomenal to help increase that within the body, so that you get the amino acids for synthesis of all of your organs in your body. So it's fantastic. And then used with clean slate, then you actually have the orthosalicylic acid that your body needs to actually activate your own collagen production within the cell. The colostrum, this is the only thing that you can take as an adult that increases your insulin-like growth factors 1 and 2, which is really important for the muscle and the collagen repair. So the collagen itself does not do that. This is not marketing, this is science, guys. The collagen itself does not do that. The colostrum goes in and activates your body's ability to naturally heal the collagen and the muscles and everything within the body. So you need to have the two to actually make it sustainable to where your body is doing the work.
Yes. This one has been amazing. This is it's there's nothing in it and yet it tastes like vanilla. It's crazy.
It does. It's so yummy.
All right, that brings us to Relive Greens. So Relive Greens is a powerhouse of fruits and vegetables, pre and probiotics, digestive enzymes, omegas, amino acids. I mean, the list of what's in this is just crazy. I actually read through Dr. Rahm's LinkedIn. She did a LinkedIn informational about Relive Greens, and she actually has an hour-long presentation on it as well. Again, there is no other scientific formulator or company out there sharing. So many people say, do you have this? Do you have that? We actually have the formulator having a discussion with you, presenting a slide deck to you for every single product she has. It's really, there is no piece of paper that outweighs the scientific formulator out front, visible in sharing with you. So anyway. Yes, so it's great for a healthy gut microbiome. It's great for blood sugar levels. So those that are diabetic or insulin resistance, this is a key for, right? Good digestion, nutrient absorption, hormonal balance. It assists in the detoxification process. So it's amazing because it has chlorella and spirulina. But again, to use Relive Greens, you need to be using Clean Slate because those will circulate toxins in the body, but you still need Clean Slate to eradicate those out of the body.
Right.
A strong immune function, weight management. It has cayenne pepper in it, which is great for your metabolism. And we talked about pre and probiotics. So it also has the key bacteria, all natural, lactobacillus, which is really good for healing cognitive function, regulating your gut microbiome and the gut-brain axis. For those that have SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, you may want to start with the collagen and cholesterol, the Give Me Back My Youth first before you introduce Relive Greens to repopulate the bacteria. You need to heal first.
Right.
It also encompasses the catalysts that are needed for proper nutrition because our gut is where our vitamins are produced and then absorbed. And so this was Dr. Rahm's own personal formulation. And why did she create it? Because remember, she had a brain tumor, a spinal tumor, 3 kinds of skin cancer. And when she was going through that, she was juicing all of her own greens. She knew the importance of it. She knew that you can't have sugar in it, especially if you're battling with cancer. But if you're going to travel, you also, you can't take along a whole suitcase full of all of the things that you would need in order to be able to juice these and do that at home. So she was looking for something that was concentrated enough that she could travel with. So this just comes in a small bottle, but actually this small bottle is 3 months worth at a third of a teaspoon. Now she does take 3 teaspoons a day, one morning, afternoon, and evening, because she is a cancer survivor and feels that that's how important this is to her. So she does do up to 3 teaspoons in a day. Right. But what a gift she has given us for true homeostasis. So again, when you combine this with Clean Slate or the collagen and the Restore, you're healing your gut microbiome, and then you're adding in and repopulating and supporting your gut healing and your nutrition.
Right. And I want to go back to ISNS. It is very important that you guys check out ISNS. There are the case studies, independent third-party reviewed case studies, where with it helping with things like long COVID, anti-cancer, other autoimmune conditions like non-alcoholic fatty liver, myocarditis, stroke. There are so many case studies that you can look through and and see how things are helping. So ISNS is a phenomenal place to find that.
Absolutely. Okay, so we like to take a pause here and show you something that you'll see on the website. So you'll go to the rootbrands.com. Root is strongly felt that a community was needed for everybody. You know, they form a community. Everybody in the Root community works together and heals together and comes together in love and healing. And so a referral code is required. And they do that because that links you to somebody and that forms our community. So the Detox Girls has an entire community. We have a Facebook group, a website, we have weekly Zooms. You're watching one of them. And we have extra layers of support. So you'll need a referral code from the person that sent you this video. And if you are not sure, you can't remember all the things, it's not a problem. You can email us at thedetoxgirls.com. Please put in the subject line referral code needed and let us know that you watched the presentation but lost track of the person that sent it to you. And we'll go ahead and make sure that we find them for you and get you the right referral code, because you do want to stay within the Detox Girls community, because if you Google it, you'll find some random person and who created an ad, and they will be your support person, and it's their community that you're then joined into. And you just, if you're here, then that means that somebody cared enough about you to send you this presentation and bring you to the Detox Girls community. Anyway,
it's detoxgirls@gmail.com.
Yes, the Detox Girls at Gmail. Okay, so on the website, you will find the Trinity Pack or the Trinity Pack Plus. So I just like to go over what this looks like, because at the beginning we said how this is the foundational product, right? Clean Slate, Restore, Zero In. Those are called the Trinity by design. She did that on by design. And if you go into shop, you'll see that there is the Trinity Pack and the Trinity Pack Plus. The difference between the two are the extra box of Restore. So in the Trinity Pack Plus, there are 2 boxes of Restore, which equals 30 Restore in that pack. That's amazing for a family, or if you have gut health and you're going to need a packet every single day, you're going to want to upgrade to the Trinity Pack Plus, especially if you have Lyme also. So that's really important. If you have Lyme, Restore is really important. And we wanted to touch on the benefits of RPS. What is RPS? Root Prime Subscription. So with Root, you don't have to make a purchase. You don't have to, everybody can sign up for free. When you sign up for free, every customer is given a referral code to share. You can share before you ever even buy anything. There is no monthly volume to maintain. This is not an MLM. This is called Root Sharing. So Root Prime subscription comes with benefits. And you can make a purchase and decide next time you need it to purchase again, and not a problem. But Root Prime RPS comes with so many benefits. So you get free shipping on your second order and all consecutive RPS orders, plus an additional order per month. What that means is that if you buy the Trinity Pack and your family is using it, or you're getting through it a little faster than you thought, and you had signed up for RPS, you're like, oh shoot, I'm running out of Clean Slate. I'm going to need an extra bottle before my next month auto ship goes out. You can pop in there, grab a bottle of Clean Slate, and it's free shipping. In addition, for every 4 consecutive months that you order, so that's important because you can't, if you push it out, then you start all over again. But say you order on the 15th and your next order goes out on the 15th. If you do that 4 months in a row, and we all know that cellular regeneration starts at 120 days, so this is sort of by design as well. For every 4 consecutive orders that you place that go out, you get either a $50 or $100 loyalty gift reward. There's details on the website. You can go through the details that'll tell you why 50 or why 100. And then the products can be changed at any time, and there's no minimum. So say you buy a bottle of Clean Slate. So you want to do this on a budget, right? This is my tip on how to purchase on a budget. You can start out with Clean Slate, put that on RPS. So you order 1 bottle of Clean Slate, you pay for the shipping, it comes out. Within 30 days, you can decide to change that to Restore. So next month, Restore comes to your door. And then you're just starting to finish up that bottle of Clean Slate, but you still are good on Restore for that 3rd month, you can pop in there, add on a bottle of Clean Slate, add on some Zero In, and again, free shipping. So we always get the question of, hey, do you have any coupon codes? The coupon, there are no coupon codes, but there are many benefits to RPS that outweigh what a singular coupon code would be. So this is a great way to build on a budget, to add something each month, and to get your family started in their journey. Did I miss anything, Shanna?
Nope, that was perfect.
All right, awesome. This is our thank you for joining us today. Just a reminder that a referral code is required, and that is simply because they want to keep us in a community. So you're here in the Detox Girls community. The referral code will be given to you by the person that sent you this video. So please reach out to them, ask them for their referral code, and then they will be your sponsor, your guide. They will keep you in the Detox Girls community. They'll open up a world of information on all of the layers of help and support that we have. You'll have access to our website, our memberships, all the good things. So we're really excited that you were here, that you joined us today. We're so happy you were here. We're so happy that somebody cared enough to send you to us. There we are. So thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, please reach out to the person that sent this to you first and foremost. They probably know the answer. If they don't know the answer, they will guide you on how to obtain the answer and the information. But we really appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.